Okay, so let's go inside. I'm having to use a side door because the scaffold tower is blocking the front door. But this side door then comes straight into our kitchen area here. So sort of try and get a view back. So we've got sort of kitchen area over here with maybe a cooking island separating this off from then the dining space over here next to the patio doors. And then we'll have a little sitting area over here. And this will be our plant cupboard, storage cupboard. Pretty much going to be the main storage for the whole house. So there'll be cupboard doors running across here to close it all off. So we'll have our ventilation unit. You can see the ducting is installed, ready to go. And yeah, that'll just be general storage. One of the nice things we've got here is a bit of a double height space. So we've got these high windows as well. So the area over the dining table is sort of really open. And then we've got a balcony overlooking at the top there, which is from our study area. So that's quite nice. And into the kitchen, we've got a little sort of larder space here. So we'll have shelving units on the side wall here, and then we'll have this sort of little utility room really, a fridge, freezer and washing machine there. And then there'll be a dividing wall across here, and then on the other side of this we'll have the downstairs loo. So this is the main entrance, front door, which is blocked off at the moment so it doesn't hit the scaffolding. It's an outward opening door, which keeps catching me out because I'm so used to having doors open inwards. But we wanted it to open outwards so as not to sort of encroach internally. But it does mean that if people are stood on the doorstep, we might not know that, but we just have to give them a warning. So then straight off this hallway, we've got what I think is probably going to be my favourite room, which is the TV room. So this one's another double height space, again looking down from the study up there. So hopefully we'll have a fully glazed partition between the two, so that'll all be a glass panel. And basically we'll have our big TV on that wall over there, and then a nice built-in sofa over here hopefully. You can see forward planning, we've got a cutout ready for the projector. Whether we'll be able to afford a projector after all this, I have no idea, but maybe one day. And just to give you a quick overview of the construction, so you can see that the main structure is this cross-laminated timber, and this is all exposed internally at the moment, so all the external walls, all the partition walls are all this, and that's all structural. And we're hoping to keep this as exposed as we can. We do have to fire treat it for spread of flame. So we've been looking at a few paint-on products that hopefully try to minimise the sort of the coloration. So we've got a few which have got a very light white tint to them. So hopefully we'll keep that sort of nice light timber colour. So machined in a factory and built on site within a couple of weeks. That was by Construct CLT, and they have done a really nice job, and they were really good to work with. Because although it's sort of cut in a factory and it's all, it should in theory all just slot together, there's still a lot of work to do to get it all to align and to get all the junctions nice and neat. But Jim and his team there did a really good job of it. And this sort of lightish wood colour that we've got, and they covered the inside with breather membrane to protect it from the sun, because as soon as the sun hits it, it does start to yellow quite quickly. So again, they did a really good job on protecting that. So that's all good. Externally, we've got a layer of insulation So outside of the frame, there's then 200 mil of PIR insulation. Then we've got a batten structure, and then our Siberian larch cladding outside of that. And that is basically it. And the timber battens and the cladding is basically held on to the structure with very long screws, so some horizontal screws and then some angled screws to take the loads. So that's all good. You see we've got a little bit of steel work here as well across the span, so we'll keep those exposed. We're just going to paint those the same colour as the window frames, so that all matches up. And the only other work we've got going on right now is a little bit of plumbing work going in. So we've got the main water supply coming in down here. So we've got our Sure Stop tap, which is quite nifty. So that can connect to a remote switch. So you can still box that in and still get to a stop switch, which is quite nice. And then our descaler. And then that water pipe then runs upstairs to the boiler, which is on the top floor. So those water pipes run all the way up that wall. And you can see another thing with the CLT is that all the service holes are all pre-cut. So you have to obviously make sure it's all planned out ahead of time. So we've got some ventilation holes there, and also all the holes for the pipes. So that's a little view of downstairs. So we get upstairs now to the first floor. So again, the stairs were all part of the CLT package as well. So it has made working inside the house pretty easy. So we've not had to rely on ladders and everything to get around. This is going to be our study up here. So we've got a nice big square window looking out into the garden. Not much of a view at the moment, unfortunately, but we can just about see some countryside or the hill over there. I think there will be a row of houses along here, so it will block it off a little bit, but it's not too bad. Yeah, and you can see this is my makeshift office at the moment. So hopefully we'll be able to get a nice big desk in here, and this is then the view down into the TV room. So we'll have, like I said earlier, we'll have a glazed panel across there to try and divide the spaces off a little bit. And I think across here we'll have a glazed balcony and then maybe some shutters. So again, you can close it off or leave it open. So the idea really with that was just that you could be up here working but still connected to the downstairs space, and ditto with the TV room, so that the living spaces are all still connected, but you can separate them off a little bit too. So that's all the living spaces. And we come round to the bedroom spaces. So this is Hugo's bedroom. So the idea of this one was that we'd give him a window which is sort of flush with the floor, so it's like it's a small person's window basically. So that's quite nice. It's a little bit dark in here, which we were a little bit concerned about, but then I don't know, I think maybe it's okay because it's a bedroom, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's got a lot lighter now that all the scaffolding's down, so this window is bringing in quite a bit more light. So yeah, there you go. All the service pipes there will be boxed in within a cupboard or something at some point. That's Hugo's room, and then continuing up the stairs. Take a right into the spare bedroom. So, spare bedroom, built-in cupboard there, and a nice view of Roberts Drive. It's actually quite a nice view, this, because I hadn't really thought about this particular view, but obviously in the summer as well, when there's a bit more greenery around, you get to see the trees, and you get to see this little cottage over here. By the way, all these windows, these are ideal combi triple glazed windows. They are tilt and turn. So just tilting there for a bit of ventilation. It's a bit dark. Or you can open them fully in, which is actually quite handy because it means you can clean the windows from inside, which is quite good. So reasonably happy with those. And they weren't crazily expensive. I think all in all the windows and doors were in the region of 14,000 for the whole house. And then coming through into the master bedroom, so you walk straight into a changing area here, which has got a roof light above it. So we'll have an ensuite along the end, and you can see this is then going to be the boiler cupboard here. So that's sort of the work that we've got going on at the moment. We've got our boiler and water tank going in at the moment. So the main aim at the minute is just to get a toilet installed up here and a sink, because we still don't have a toilet. We're still using the site toilet that Cafe Justin are letting us use next door. So I'm quite keen just to at least get a toilet running whilst we finish the rest of the house. But fairly conventional gas boiler, water cylinder. We try to keep it relatively low spec. We are trying to build to passive house levels of insulation and everything else, some air tightness. So we're hoping we won't need much heating. So it's a relatively low powered boiler, and we'll try to keep the number of radiators to a minimum as best we can. But one of the advantages, I think, of doing this yourself is that you can sort of experiment a little bit. So we'll kind of see how we get on, and if we need to add more radiators or more heating or whatever, then we can do. One of the beauties of sort of building like this, the pipe work is all external to the walls, so if you need to get access to things and add additional bits and bobs, you can. Which makes me think of the sort of electrics and stuff like that. You can hide those within these CLT panels. You can have them machined, sort of have ductwork machined within the panels. We've not done that just because it's an additional cost. So our electrical runs, so for light switches, etc., and plugs, we'll have to run in conduit and surface mount them. But we're quite comfortable with that, and I think we'll try and again make a feature of it. And what colour we go for, I don't know. Maybe we'll go for black so it matches the window frames, or maybe we'll go for sort of a metal finish. Not sure yet. This then leads through to our little bedroom with views again over the hill and the Bromford houses. Yeah, and that's it. So nice simple bedroom. One of the great things about designing your own house is obviously you can think about how you live in the house, and one of the things that we were quite keen on in the the bedroom, is that when you walk out of the bedroom, you can then get changed in this separate area. So we'll have sliding doors across here, and then you leave the bedroom, so you don't necessarily have to interrupt the other person's sleep. So once you're out of the bedroom, you can then get changed and move out without disturbing the person. So it's quite nice to be able to think about things like that. And then this will be the family bathroom, which will hopefully be a reasonably sized bathroom. So just a single window in here. That's it, so it's a pretty simple shape. So I think we'll probably end up with the bath along this wall here and the shower. I'm not quite sure how we're going to arrange all that yet. And then toilet and sink over here. So we've got our drainage connection just waiting for us to make our minds up. So that's basically it. So all in all, we tried to sort of make the most. It's not a massive house, it's about 134 square metres. So it's still relatively modest size, but we've tried to just make the most of the space that we've got. So we've tried to minimise the sort of the routes through the house, so the landing is pretty small and the stairs are as sort of compact as we can make them to try and make the most of the rooms themselves. So yeah, I think overall we're pretty pleased with the layouts. I'll just mention, so our roof lights, we've got motors in them, so this is what those wires are for. So we can open those for a bit of ventilation in the summer. Just quickly show you the solar shading that we've got. So I said earlier, it's on the south facing windows where we could potentially get overheating in the summer. So it's all just connected at the moment to this temporary control unit, but obviously eventually we'll have switches on the walls. So they're all externally mounted, so they block out the sun before it gets into the house. So obviously one of the dangers with being well insulated is the house gets too warm and then you can't cool it down. So the best way around that is to stop the heat getting in the first place. And also perhaps provides a little bit of privacy, although you can still see through them reasonably well. But the main thing is just to stop the heat getting in. So that's enough of those toys. So just going through some of the job lists off the top of my head, there's still absolutely loads to do. So outside we've got to still finish these window surrounds downstairs and finish the cladding at the very bottom, and then do anything we need to do to achieve level access, just enough to get through building control initially. Upstairs we've still got to do flooring. So we've got to have a batten structure here, and then a flooring finish on top of that. Still not decided exactly what we're going to do there. And downstairs, at the moment, we've just still got the exposed concrete slab. So I think we're just going to have a very thin screed on top of that, maybe sort of 10 mil or so. I think we probably want to try and keep the colour similar to what it is now, but obviously just achieve a nice smooth level finish. We've got to do all that fire coating for all these walls, which is going to be a fun job. So we've got the glazing to go in here, a balustrade to go in here. We've got to do an external balustrade on this window, this window opens. So we've got to sort that out. All the electrics need to start going in. The MVHR, which I think I might try and tackle myself. Yeah, and then just bathrooms, kitchen. To be honest, we still haven't really decided exactly what we're going to do with the bathrooms and kitchen yet, so we actually just need to make some decisions on that. And then fit all the cupboards and everything we need there. So it doesn't sound so bad when you say it like that, but I just know that there's absolutely loads of little things still to do. But we started the project in March 2018. That's when we took the golden brick, and then we started to build our lower slab, and the frame was up in May. And basically we've been trying to do the build so it coincides with our work and everything else. So I'm working on a contract at the moment which finishes at the end of February. So once that's done, I can get back onto this full time and try and get it finished. So yeah, it's been a slow winter. So I'd say from October onwards, we've not really done a huge amount. Again, just because we've been busy working, trying to earn the money to pay for it all. But it was always in the plan that we would sort of get it weather tight before the winter so that we could leave it and then pick it up again. Not ideal, because obviously we're paying rent and mortgage at the same time, but it was the only way we could really do all this. So still hopeful that we can get in by the summer. It's Hugo's birthday in July, so I really hope we can get in for that. We will get in for that, that is the target. We've just got to really crack on once I get to March. So I hope you enjoyed having a look around. I'll try and do more of these blog posts as I get a bit more time. and sort of show the progress from here on in. I was really hoping to do blogs throughout the whole process, but it just wasn't time. It went absolutely crazy in the summer getting all this up and trying to fit it in around work and life and everything else. But now hopefully it'll just settle down a little bit and we can actually enjoy this last little bit of the process. But yeah, so overall we're happy. Still got just about enough money hopefully to finish it off. And yeah, so looking forward to giving you another update soon. Cheers, bye.